Hey guys, so we are going to finish up our discussion on the unit circle by just talking a few more ways about how we can use it. So remember that when we have our coordinate system, we can give the coordinates using the cosine and then the sine. And so we have our different quadrants. And remember that the x-coordinate is your cosine and your y-coordinate is the sine. So in our first quadrant, they're both positive. In the second quadrant, we go negative and then positive. In the third quadrant, we go negative, negative. And in the fourth quadrant, we go positive and then negative. So the first coordinate is our x, and that is our cosine. And then the second coordinate is our y, and that is our sine. So in the first quadrant, they are both positive. In the second quadrant, our cosine is negative and our sine is positive. In the third quadrant, they're both negative. And in the fourth quadrant, our cosine is positive and our sine is negative. And then to find the tangent, remember that the tangent is y over x, or sine over cosine. So when they're both positive, the tangent is positive. When one of them is negative, so if we have positive over negative, it's going to give us a negative value. If they're both negative, it's going to give us a positive value. And if one is negative and one is positive, that's going to give us a negative value again. So tangent is positive in the first and third quadrant, and negative in the second and the fourth quadrant. Okay, so we're looking for the sine of 150. So we can either look that up on our unit circle and find the y-coordinate of 150, or we can draw 150, which is 30 degrees less than 180. And opposite of 30 is 1/2. And the hypotenuse is 1. So sine of 150 is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's going to give us 1/2 over 1, which is just 1/2. So the sine of 150 is 1/2. The cosine of 7 pi over 4, if we turn that into a degree measurement, 7 pi over 4 is 315. I don't know why I'm writing so small. Sorry about that. Then we can draw that. So on our coordinate plane. So 315 is going to be 45-degree angle, which means this is square root of 2 over 2, negative. This is going to be square root of 2 over 2. And we're looking for the cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. All of our hypotenuses are still 1. So this is going to be positive square root of 2 over 2 over 1, which is this square root of 2 over 2. Or again, you can look that up on your coordinate plane, or on your unit circle. And the unit circle coordinates are square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. So the cosine is square root of 2 over 2. Okay, now these are going to get a little bit tricky. So if sine of theta equals negative square root of 3 over 2, we want to find the cosine when the cosine is negative. All right, so there are two places on our unit circle where the sine is negative square root of 3 over 2. So sine is your y, remember? And so when y is negative, that means it goes down here and down here. So negative square root of 3 over 2 is here and here. All right, that means this is a 60-degree angle. And that also means that this is 1/2. This one's going to be negative and that one's going to be positive. All right, we're going to find the cosine when cosine is negative. Well, in this one, the cosine is positive, so that's not it. It must mean this side. So what's the cosine in this case? The cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, right? In this case, the hypotenuse is always 1, so the cosine is negative 1/2 over 1, or just negative 1/2. So for these types of problems, you're going to have two choices, and then you're going to have to pick one of them. So now we want, if cosine is positive, square root of 2 over 2. So that means cosine is positive. That's your x-coordinate. So that means that cosine is positive in both these two sides, right? If you don't remember, you can go back up and look. Cosine is positive in the first quadrant, and it's positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay, that's why we reviewed that to start. Now cosine is square root of 2 over 2. That's your x-coordinate, which means these are 45-degree angles. So if that's square root of 2 over 2, then this is also square root of 2 over 2. Now, when the tangent is negative, okay, which means tangent is 1 is positive and 1 is negative. When is tangent negative? So I can look back in my chart and see that tangent is negative here and here. So I just said it's negative in the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant. So tangent is negative in this quadrant right here, because cosine is positive and sine is negative. So I'm going to find the tangent, which means tangent is sine over cosine, or y over x, which is negative square root of 2 over 2 divided by positive square root of 2 over 2, which is just going to give us negative 1. Okay? So you're looking to find where does this condition happen? And then after you figure out what the possibilities are, then find out where that happens. All right? So if sine equals negative 1/2, so sine is your y-coordinate. So that means where's y negative? So y has to be negative here, and y has to be negative here. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So negative 1/2 here, negative 1/2. So that means that this is my 30, so my 60 is square root of 3 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2. This one's positive, this one's negative. Find the tangent where the tangent is less than 0. So which one is my tangent going to be negative? Here, tangent, negative divided by negative is going to be positive. Here, my tangent is my negative divided by a positive. That's going to be negative. So my tangent is negative in my fourth quadrant. So my tangent is opposite over adjacent. So negative 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. My 2's cancel. So that is negative 1 over square root of 3. And when I put that in my calculator, I'm going to get negative square root of 3 over 3. That's my answer. You cannot have a negative square or a square root in the denominator. All right, let's look at a couple more questions. A child enters a carousel that takes 1 minute to revolve around. A child enters so if it takes 1 minute to go all the way around, that means that for every 15 seconds, it goes a quarter, right? So 1 minute divided by 4 is 15 seconds. right? Because it's 60 seconds. Right, imagine a watch. So this is 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. So every 15 seconds, it goes a quarter of the way around. All right, the child enters at 0, -1. Assume the carousel revolves counterclockwise. So if you imagine a clock, right, it goes like this. So counterclockwise is this direction. It enters at 0, -1. So the child enters here. Okay? It revolves counterclockwise, so we're going to go that direction. What are the coordinates of the child after 15 seconds? So after 15 seconds, it's just going to be right there. So after 15 seconds, our coordinates are, we went over 1, 0. That is our answer. All right, let's look at another one. The child enters a carousel that takes 1 minute to revolve around. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 60 divided by 4 is 15. So every quarter turn is 15 seconds. The child enters at -1, 0. So that is here. So this is where we start. Assume the carousel revolves counterclockwise. So if our clock, oops, there we go. You get it. There we go. All right, goes counterclockwise, so we want to go that way. So we're revolving that way. Okay, what are the coordinates of the child after 45 seconds? That's 3 turns, or 3 little sections. So we go 1, 2, 3. So this is where we end up. So the coordinates here are 0, 1. So this is our end. And that's all you do for those. All right, the height of the wave can be modeled by the equation 2 sine of pi over 4 times t, where h of t is the height in feet above sea level and t is the time in seconds. What is the height of the wave after 3 seconds? All right, so the first thing I want us to do is just get rid of the h of t. Just say h. Okay, this messed us up on the test, and we just need to know the height is that. So t is what we're going to fill in. This is seconds. This is height. Okay, so we're going to do h equals 2 times the sine of pi over 4 times 3, which is just the same thing as 2 sine of 3 pi over 4. So we can go ahead, and if I do 3 pi over 4 times 180 over pi, that gives us 315 degrees. And so that is a 45-degree angle, which is square root of 2 over 2, negative, and square root of 2 over 2. So my sine for 3 pi over 4 is going to be square root of 2 over 2. So really, I'm just doing 2 times negative square root of 2 over 2. So that is negative 2 square root of 2 over 2, and the 2's are going to cancel. So that's going to give me negative square root of 2 as my answer. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing when height equals 0. H equals 2 sine of pi over 4 times 0. Oops. So that is 2 times sine of 0. So then I'm going to just look and see at 0, what is my sine? Well, my coordinates are 1, 0. So my sine is 0. So it's basically 2 times 0, which is just 0. And then the last one is when t equals 2. So I've got 2 times sine of pi over 4 times 2. And pi over 4 times 2 is, let's see, 2 times sine of 2 pi over 4 is the same thing as pi over 2. And pi over 2 times 180 over pi is 90 degrees. So I'm looking to do the sine of 90 times 2, which is, here's my 90 degrees. And so my coordinates there are 0, 1. So my sine for that is 1. So 2 times 1 is just 2. And that is my answer. So that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know.